Hey everybody, let's take a look at some really interesting watches. The 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 Casio SKX. Yeah, so I've never owned an SKX before, and there's been a lot of buzz over this watch, like the past 15 years. And now that I have them, I don't know what the fuss is about, to be honest. Enthusiasts seem to always talk about them, but yeah, I'm just being stupid. These are SKXs, but not the sake of dive watch that everyone knows. These are Casios from the early 90s. They actually made a whole bunch of these watches called SKX. These are the SKX-1000. They're three different colorways. I'm pretty sure they're just five, but there was also like an SKX-2000 and whatever, 1100. There's a whole bunch over the years. I think SKX is yeah, we see right there, SKX 1000, SKX 1000. They're very proud of that model number. That's plastered all over here, 1000. I think that means like ski, that's SK, and the X is like extreme sport or something. These are just three of lots of watches with these colors in the early to mid 90s that Casio did. And I was around this time. I was a kid, and yeah, everything was neon this and neon that. I'm wearing this kind of a revival of colors of the era. Casio's made a whole bunch of 90s revival watches, mostly G-Shocks. It was a colorful time. And I think one thing that doesn't get talked about as to why is like plastics are still new for humanity. Like it's causing a bit of a problem for us. But in the 70s into the 80s, like we knew how to make black and brown plastics. It was a big thing when you could make new colors. And it was late 80s, early 90s where like vibrant neon colors just were possible for the first time. It wasn't like no one thought about making things orange before. It was a matter of manufacturing. And once you can do it, it was everywhere. Like there was hot pink and neon green, everything. That was just on clothing, everything, because it hadn't been before. It was new. And Casio's no exception in their watches. I'll go through these in a second, but I thought this was kind of neat. If you like Casio, you need to subscribe. I'm just saying, it's not for me. Honestly, it's for you. Um, I I have more than a handful of them. This is actually a catalog from 1993, and maybe not in this video, but sometime in the future, I'll make a nice browse through video of this. There's a whole bunch of cool ones. I'm trying to find the page for this. There we go. You gotta admit, this is pretty cool, right? I'm gonna compare these watches with the listing in the catalog from 1993. It's a Japanese catalog. But yeah, green, hot pink, and orange. And those are the versions that I have here. These aren't the rarest watches. You can find them. Sorry, I don't see what you see. These aren't the rarest watches. You can find them. It's a little rarer to find them on the original straps like this. These are in fantastic condition given their age. But the straps, they've kind of discolored over time. But usually when you see them, they're just on a completely separate new replacement strap. So I think that's pretty cool to have the originals here. That's some of the coolest watches that I think I have from the back catalog of Casio. That's why I'm making this video. But there is a purple with orange and a yellow with purple. These are just crazy. I did notice that these two here are the B models, SKX 1000B, and these other three are the C. I don't know what the difference is. I think it's they've amped up the craziness in the strap. This has like more stuff, and is this even the original? Yeah, it's purple 1000 purple. This is orange. That's right. Yeah, they all have the same module, all of these, and they all have the same price, so they're kind of the same in functionality, but let's just hold these up. Let's get a look at them. Just like today, Casio likes to put lots of extraneous displays on them. And in normal time mode, you see like the pink or red display is just counting up every 5 seconds, and then it kind of drains out. The bar at the top, I think that fills up over the course of the minute slower? I'm actually not too sure. This one's at 8, 8, 8. Yeah, so whatever. That's just miscellaneous stuff in time mode. But there is a couple of different stopwatch modes on this watch. This is a 6-button watch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This mode button down here gets you into the stopwatch mode. There's 2 different types of stopwatch mode. These like triangle arrows, when they're full, that means it's in split slash, you'll see. I can start timing, and I can press this button to like store a split time in the background. It's still counting. After a couple of seconds, it'll continue that on. And so I could just like keep on pressing this to keep on like measuring those splits. That's 5th lap, 6th lap, great, and then I'm done. If through the whole time I can press this button here, you see lap spool, that's split. Instead, I can just see the lap times each time instead of the split times if I don't care. All right. Cool, and I can stop it and then I can reset it. But in the next mode, it's like in a recall mode where I actually can review what those times were. I can kind of go through and see what my laps were. Great, and there's also an alarm mode, back to time. And in this mode, I can actually press the setting mode and you see those arrows, they kind of disappeared now. And now, instead of like splits and laps, it just like times once, press it again to stop, start a whole new lap. So it doesn't keep a running total, basically. So maybe you want to time a lot of separate amounts you don't care about, split times. There's that. Yeah, so that's that, and that's this, that's that. There's also this button here, which I think is pretty cool. Press that, and it's called Auto Start. And now I can press this, and it's like a 10-second countdown. So maybe I want to give myself 10 seconds before I start, and I do the 10-second countdown, and then it's back into the mode that you just saw. It's counting everything. Pretty cool. I'm guessing I don't ski, but I actually have skied, and I guess if you did Ski Extreme 1000, this might have a lot of cool stuff for you. One downside that makes this not a very good video is that the speakers on these, the piezos, don't seem to be working. I think the previous owner may not have set that up correctly, but I imagine that countdown was supposed to like give you a beeping countdown. You saw like the displays, they were counting down, and you see in this mode, you see it. It's actually cool. The way that thing fills up, it almost seems to like accelerate and just like flash to the right. Pretty cool. Stop that, reset it. That's the recall mode. It says target there. I'm not really sure why. What's the target? I could change that target. Maybe, oh yeah, I could press the setting button and I could change what those targets are. So I can like pre-program, yeah, like split 1 is supposed to be 15 seconds and split 2 is supposed to be this. Anyways, watch that's catered, designed specifically for skiing. I imagine like lots of different, like those flat, I don't know. But this button's nice and large and easy to hit. So if you are skiing and you are kind of measuring your different times between laps, very 90s, something that a modern Garmin, I'm sure, does a better job at. But man, that's a period of the time. That's a product of its time. And you can see like these other watches, hot pink, other sports, you have this like tri-sports, it's like triathlon. This is crazy. I'm not going to go through this whole catalog today, but I just wanted to highlight these 3 because they are 3 watches that I happen to have picked up. Man, Casio's made thousands of watches, and I do not have thousands, but I have a growing collection, and if I find it in my catalog and I see it, I feel like it makes sense to pick it up. What else to say about these? They don't have a light, which is kind of common for the era. They are 10 bar of water resist. That's pretty cool. And standard construction that they'd have today, everything that you'd expect. But yeah, I think that's it. Just these weird, fun, colorful watches from the 90s, from my childhood, maybe your childhood, maybe not, and you just reminisce a little bit about this time. But it definitely takes me back. I remember having, not these, but Casios that were brightly colored. I remember having neon like ball caps. It just was part of the era. And it's so cool to actually find these artifacts from that time. And hopefully you thought these were interesting. And hopefully you want to see more of these catalogs, more of these weirder older Casios. And I have a handful and I have more on the way. And so you subscribe and you see some of these watches. I've been collecting Casio watches since when these were made new. Let's say that. And so I know a bit about them, and I have quite a few catalogs at the very least. So I think that's that. I'd appreciate your subscription. I have a full-time job. I do this on the side. This is not like supposed to be a big thing, but I do love sharing these. I love hearing your opinion. If you have any memories from this time, if you have any comments on this, please let me know and like and all that stuff. All right. Thank you very much.